Hey everybody, it's CJ Fox. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'm happy to introduce the first video of 2024. And today, I'm going to be taking a look at this Lifelike Proto 2000 HO scale EMD E7a diesel locomotive. For those that don't know, Proto 2000 was owned by Lifelike, which got bought out by Walthers back in I think 2007 or 2008, I believe, when they got bought out. And back then, Lifelike's Proto 2000 line and its previous Proto 1000 line had a lot of similarities to other model railroad manufacturers. I don't know why that was so hard to say. And the biggest telltale, if it's a Proto 2K, it would likely it does say a Lifelike on the bottom right here, and it does say made in China. But with Proto 2000s, they did use a lot of Athearn's inspired designs, especially when it comes to their trucks and their drivetrains. And one key thing about Proto 2000s is that it goes across their entire range of diesel locomotives that the gears tend to split along the drive axles. So those are relatively available thanks to them being Athearn clones. You can put in an Athearn's drive gear basically right on in there, and it works flawlessly. EMD's E7 class, or which is produced by the automotive giant General Motors, who produces Chevy, Cadillac, GMC, and Buick. I believe that's their current lineup. And the EMD stands for Electromotive Division, or Electric Motive Division, which produces these locomotives. And they started out with producing the F units and E units way back in the 1930s, with the E units here being essentially elongated F units, with, instead of one prime mover, they have two diesel prime movers inside. Both are V12 two-stroke diesels inside, each one producing 1,000 horsepower for basically a combined total in one solid unit for 2,000 horsepower. Now these engines had a stroke and bore of 8.5 inches by 10 inches and had a maximum RPM of 800 revolutions per minute. And they had a top speed of about 85 miles an hour, which made these engines very good for passenger service. And for the railroad that you see here, this is a Chicago Northwestern model. And number 5009A was a real locomotive purchased by the Chicago Northwestern and was used on the railway for quite some time. I couldn't find an exact record for 5009, but these were used all the way until Amtrak, but he basically took control of all passenger service in the United States, incorporating a lot of these old E units, E7s, E8s, and E9s into their Amtrak roster. And I'm uncertain if 5009 ever became a part of that, but I suspect that it most likely got scrapped beforehand. And in that sense, I do have a photo. I did manage to find a photograph of 5009. It's on the furthest right locomotive in this photograph seen right here. Also, for any additional facts about the E7 class, all of them that were produced, 26 for Chicago Northwestern were made. Out of 428 A units and 82 B units were produced, and Chicago Northwestern had a series of A and B units, with 5009 being, this is the A unit, and there is a B unit that belongs with this particular unit. Though I've tried to look for a B unit to match this, but I haven't found any luck. So if you find any, like on eBay or any other site, please feel free to type down the link down below, and I would love to see if I can get a matching B unit for this unit. And another fact also, these locomotives do have a traction effort, continuous-wise, of 31,000 foot-pounds of torque at 11 miles an hour. But however, it does have a starting traction effort of 56,500 pounds at 25% throttle. Now, Lifelike's Pro 2000 line, as I said before, was the premium brand, which enabled a lot of really cool features that were quite revolutionary back in the day in the late 90s and early 2000s with model railroading, such as this model actually has functioning cab doors that are spring-loaded, along with the door in the middle is also spring-loaded. And if I spin the locomotive around to the back side, even this rear door is spring-loaded, along with the diaphragm here for ease of access to the rest of the train through the B unit and through all the rest of the passenger cars. Now, since these units were passenger units, they did have a steam boiler in the back for heating up the passenger cars. And the B units, oddly, did not have that. So, other than that, yes, I do know there is some missing parts on this particular model, as I got it from eBay for about $29. And they see, of course, the horns are missing. A couple of the loops here are missing. Some of the exhausts are missing as well. And, of course, some of the hand railing, as this was a used model. But performance-wise, I've had absolutely no problem with this one. And also, this model is new enough that it does have an 8-pin decoder slot. And I managed to pick up a Digitrax 2-function decoder. And all I did was just plug it in, and I curled up the wires and put the decoder somewhere off to the side right here. There's plenty of space in the back, but all in the middle right here, it's all a solid die-cast chassis, giving a hefty amount of weight. If I recall, this model weighs over a pound, or probably close to like 18 or 19 ounces. Regardless, this thing is heavy enough to pull any kind of train that you would need. And with all that being said, I will allow the transition over to the layout so you can guys can see its performance. Alright, the locomotive is up on the track, and I apologize for any background noise. The dishwasher is currently running. So let's see how slow this locomotive can crawl. And then I believe this is in the forward direction. Okay, that's a backwards direction. But as can be seen, it crawls exceptionally well. Let me flip the direction here. Turn up the volume, turn up the dial a little bit. And this locomotive, I do believe, has some form of momentum. But as you can tell, this thing crawls exceptionally well. So this is a little bit faster. Engine noise is very, very quiet for this locomotive, which will make it very, very suitable for DCC and sound, which, as I previously mentioned, this locomotive just has a no sound decoder currently in it. So, with this passing its crawl test, let's add some passenger cars to this train and see how well it pulls. As you can tell, the headlight is not on due to when I last ran this in DCC mode, I turned off the headlights, so the headlight does not currently work. As you can tell, I have this locomotive basically on full throttle, and it performs pulling this four commuter car consist absolutely with no effort whatsoever. And I do have 22-inch curves now on my layout, which is a tremendous upgrade. And now I'm able to run these larger bi-level commuter cars with these, as these are recommended for 22 inches. Though they do work better on larger radiuses. As for the cars, they are there's Walther Proto, so they're a little bit more expensive, but they are definitely worth it, as these are very, very high quality cars, and they perform immaculately well. And there is the lighted and non-lighted versions I have, with the only lighted version I have is the cab car, which has a really cool little feature that I only recently discovered, and I never really noticed that it truly had. So let me quick set the camera so you can see the train going the other way. Alright, I basically just put the camera in a different place. But when the train comes around, take a look at the cab car. Yes, the lights are on in the inside, but so is the headlight. But if I stop the train right here, flip the direction, you see that the lights are still on inside the car, but the headlights turned off. So basically this Walters Proto cab car that's lighted has directional lighting. How cool is that? Now I'm just going to run it backwards for a little bit. So yeah, basically with these commuter cars, you can do a push-pull configuration like they did in real life, running from Chicago to Green Bay and all the way out where the Northwestern went, all the way to Kansas, Dakotas, Minnesota, Illinois, and so forth. So I'm just going to let the camera run and get these amazing shots of this locomotive going around my layout. So sit back and enjoy the view. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this content, and I look forward to making more this year. And this concludes this review from my Proto 2000 EMD E7a diesel locomotive. And I hope to see you guys again next time. Feel free to like, comment, and maybe subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Anyway, this has been CJ Fox. Hope you all have a good day. Bye-bye. Merp, merp.